It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. I'm here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can email me as well, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. I can't believe it happened again, but every time it happens, we're going to highlight it here because there are certain crimes that are so unacceptable to me. I am in the full belief that any perpetrator of said crime is irredeemable, is pure evil, and cannot be rehabilitated. And of course, I'm talking about somebody stealing a couple's French bulldog in Montebello. Unacceptable. Unbelievable that this is happening. We got to do something about this. As a dog owner myself, as a dog lover myself, the thought of my little puppies getting stolen away from me from some monster that's trying to profit off of it, that is so far beyond so many other crimes that we see. I don't understand it. I don't know how people can sleep at night doing this, but let's find out what happened here. This is yet another cautionary tale. And unfortunately, if you happen to be the owner of a French bulldog, you have to go around every day thinking that you and your dog are targets. And that is not cool. For more, here's K-Cal.
A Montebello family frantically searching for their beloved French bulldog.
They say it was stolen from them last night while on a walk. KCAL News reporter Leslie Marin is live tonight in Montebello for us.
And that's where she spoke to the couple who were just steps away from their front door, Leslie.
Not even in a strange place, not like the woman a few months ago who had her dog stolen while she was at Whole Foods. They're just on a walk in their neighborhood in what's supposed to be a quiet part of town, Montebello.
Yeah, Susie, Chauncey, the couple lives at this apartment complex here behind me, and this is a routine walk for them. They do this every night with their French bulldogs. But last night, before they could even make it to this corner here, the unimaginable happened.
And he tells me, he goes, I'm taking the dog. And I told him, no, don't take the dog.
Mario Felix is devastated. Watch a security video shows a suspect running away with his 2-year-old French bulldog, Jennifer.
Whatever it takes to get Jennifer back.
You know, there is a special place in hell for people that steal dogs. And I'd put that above a whole bunch of other things that are supposed to be mortal sins. This is irredeemable.
Whatever it takes to get Jennifer back, I'll do whatever it takes.
Felix says he was on a walk with his wife and 2 of their French bulldogs just after 10 Sunday night. His wife had walked ahead when he says he was approached by a man holding a gun.
Then he turned around and had his gun on me and he goes, want the watch?
Felix says the hooded suspect demanded his watch, wallet, and phone.
Then stop there. You've already robbed somebody. You've ruined their day. You've traumatized them for the rest of your life. You probably are going to get a couple of grand off the watch and the cell phone and everything else. Why do you continue to be so greedy and so evil and so heartless that you would go for somebody's dog?
Before then turning his sights to the Frenchie, Jennifer.
When I went to try to get Jennifer, that's when he put the gun closer to me.
Felix says the suspect then hopped in a car with at least 3 other people inside and took off.
Oh, good to know that there's a whole band of dog-stealing criminals out there.
You know, it just seemed like they knew exactly what they were doing.
Police have investigated a series of French bulldog robberies in the last several years. The high cost of the dog makes them a target for thieves.
But this is what I don't understand. How does the black market, I don't understand how the black market for a whole bunch of stolen goods works. I don't understand fencing. I mean, sure, sometimes you have situations like what we found out with Ulta's and Sephora's, where you had a woman selling stolen goods from Sephora, from Ulta on an Amazon marketplace for a decade before anybody found out about it and caught on to it. But where do you go to sell a stolen French bulldog? Where do you go to sell stolen dogs? Are you pretending to be some rescue operation? Are you posting on Craigslist? What? This is just, it's unfathomable to me that something like this happens. This poor couple.
Something Felix says he is well aware of, especially since the family has 3 French bulldogs.
When we go out, we always take Mace with us. I just never thought that was going to happen here.
It all happened right in front of Felix's apartment complex near Victoria and Wilcox Avenues. He spent the day talking to neighbors and posting alerts on social media. He says Jennifer is fixed and needs a special diet along with medication.
If not, it's going to throw her off. If she's not going to be the same, she's going to get.
This poor guy, he is so concerned about the well-being of the dog, he can't even let the rage come out. He is worried that the dog's not going to get her medication. She's not going to eat right. She's going to be stressed out, as I would be. The thought of something like this happening, I would be apoplectic. I would be freaking out. And I don't know if my first impulse would be the rage at the person that did this. It would be the fear, please return my baby to me safely. I'm like this guy. I don't have children. I have the dogs, and the dogs are my family. And the thought of somebody forcibly stealing them from me, I don't know how somebody walks around like that on this planet.
If not, it's going to.
That person has no soul.
If not, it's going to throw her off. If she's not going to be the same, she's going to get really bad. She's going to get really worse. It's not going to be a good thing.
For Felix, his dogs are more than just pets. He and his wife consider them their children. So he'll do anything to get Jennifer back home.
And this is a very common thing now, especially with how expensive things have gotten and changing trends. There are a lot of people, married couples in their 30s and their 40s, who are like, you know what? I don't think I want to have kids now. I don't think I want to have kids in the future. And it's not the same thing. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but having dogs in your life gives you an immense joy. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. And the fact that stealing someone's dog is treated so differently from stealing someone's kid is something that I want to talk about today.
If they're going to put a ransom, I'll pay the ransom. If that's going to make them happy, then so be it. But, I mean, whatever it takes to get Jennifer back, I'll do whatever it takes.
And Felix tells us he believes the suspects got away in an older Kia Optima.
Oh, of course, stolen Kia, used to commit other crimes. The only reason people steal Kias is to do other criming with it. Unbelievable.
And Felix tells us he believes the suspects got away in an older Kia Optima, a silver.
At this point, you have to assume any Kia you see on the road is stolen.
Optima, a silver one that had damage to the back bumper. If you have any information on the suspects or on that French bulldog Jennifer, you are asked to call Montebello Police. Reporting live in Montebello, Leslie Medine, KCAL News.
All right, Leslie, thank you so much.
So that's what's going on. I hope for the best resolution for this couple. They want their dog back. They have 3 French bulldogs. This is the mama dog that got stolen. They're not going to be able to sleep at all every single night until this is resolved. This is so cruel. And for what? So you can make $5,000, you can make $10,000. There are so many other people that these monsters could victimize. They could go rip off a Walmart. They could go steal as much as they want, and they won't get in trouble from all these different retail establishments. Why the hell are you stealing somebody's dog? And maybe part of the problem is the way that we treat dog napping in the state of California, let alone the rest of the country. But even though we form immense emotional connections, even though these are our companions for life, in the eyes of the law, a dog is still considered property. It's considered the same thing as having a really nice iPad or a laptop or a Nintendo Switch. And in fact, the current penal code on dog napping is pretty pathetic, at least in my opinion, for how heinous, how horrible, and how you have to have absolutely zero morals to commit something like this. You do not belong in civilized society if you steal dogs. Unacceptable. That being said, if you get caught, here's all that's going to happen to you. Here is the current California Penal Code for said crime of dog napping. Any person who feloniously steals, takes, or carries away a companion animal of another that is of a value exceeding $950 is guilty of grand theft. That's right. Forget that this is a living, breathing creature. Forget that this is your friend. This is your family. They have to do a dollar value base of the dollar value of the dog to determine how important this dog is in the eyes of the law. So, yeah, French bulldog, that's a rare breed, and all the celebrities have them, so maybe that one will be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, you know, I've got 2 dogs. One's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. One is a Rat Terrier mix. Both of them are rescues, and I love them both dearly. I don't know how much the eyes of the law are going to value my little Rita rat. But the fact that if hypothetically someone stole my dog and then someone has to value, no, that dog's not worth $950. That's a petty theft charge. But even the grand theft charge, you're not getting serious prison time for that. Maybe you get a year, maybe you get a year or two. It'll probably be an AB 109 case where, because, again, we're just talking about grand theft, not what you actually did, stole a living, breathing creature from somebody. You're going to maybe go back down to jail, maybe go down to time served. That seems a little unacceptable to me. So here's my idea. And maybe you agree with me. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you think I am way too big of a softie when it comes to dogs. Fair. But you know what? There are worse things to be a softie about. I told you what the current penalty was for dog napping because we consider it theft. We consider it grand theft. And petty theft, that doesn't really get you anything. Grand theft, you happen to steal a dog worth $950. Insane that we put a dollar value on that. Well, you're going to prison for a little while. Maybe a year. However, let's look at the penal code in the state of California for kidnapping. Because you know what? People do treat their animals like their children, as they should. And I feel that if that's what the crime is, if you are taking somebody's family away from them for some evil, nefarious purpose, there's no good reason to do this. Maybe we got to toughen up the penalty. Kidnapping, which, of course, in the penal code, makes it illegal to take someone by means of force or fear into any other California county, state, or country. Well, that is punishable by up to 8 years in prison, $10,000 fines as well. And you can go to a serious felony. You get a strike on your record. It is taken way more seriously. So here is my question to you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Because currently, this is a rising trend. And with designer dogs and this trend where so many people want French bulldogs, unfortunately, it's becoming this hot commodity. I don't know who's out there buying the stolen dogs. There's also, I would assume most people don't know, but if you're going after a French bulldog, you see that, to go through a legitimate breeder or rescue organization, it could cost you thousands of dollars, and you see one on Craigslist for $500, you should know something's up right there. But I feel that we've got to change the laws on this. We've got to toughen the penalties. Should we consider dog napping kidnapping in the eyes of the law? Should we up the penalties from dog napping from theft to kidnapping, or even worse? How far would you go to go after a dog napper? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I know there's a lot of dog lovers in the audience, a lot of dog owners in the audience, and I don't think we have one person listening who would defend the monsters that are stealing dogs out there. So how tough would you go on the dog nappers? I say kidnapping charges are a minimum, but I also don't know how you rehabilitate somebody so heartless. I don't know how you fix somebody's behavior. I don't know how you change them. I don't know if these people should ever be in society again. It's unacceptable to me. How far would you go to punish a dog napper? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's start with Brent in L.A. Brent, hello.
Hi, Randy. I want to support your righteous and sagacious rage, but I want to raise you. Though I can't understand why any man wants to have an English bulldog, I want to go full Sharia on these sociopaths and just start cutting off their limbs.
You know what? I'm in agreement with you. For crimes like this, there are certain countries that had this figured out a long time ago.
And can we add to that? Also, we have to start executing pedophiles and sex slavers.
Well, the fact that we don't tells you that we don't take these kinds of things seriously. Brent, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Another French bulldog was stolen at gunpoint from his owner. The guy got robbed of his watch, of his phone, and his dog. And the fact is, in the eyes of the law, dog napping is just considered theft. Sure, it's grand theft if it's a fancy dog, but do you think we need to toughen the penalties for this? How far would you go after a dog napper? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I want to talk to you. 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. A couple in Montebello walking their French bulldog got accosted by a guy with a gun. The guy with the gun said, "Give me your phone, give me your wallet, and give me your French bulldog." This guy got his dog stolen at gunpoint. The fact that these crimes keep happening, I do not understand. I don't understand how there is a fencing operation. I don't understand how there's a black market for buying dogs. I don't know what we do to stop that. However, if this monster actually gets caught, he's not going to face that much prison time, because even stealing a dog at gunpoint is just considered theft. Grand theft if it's a really expensive dog, which a French bulldog would be apparently, but I don't think that goes far enough. I want to go minimum kidnapping charges, because this is this person's family, so we should treat the crime like he stole somebody's family. How far would you go to punish a dog napper if we catch this bastard? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I'm a really mellow guy until I hear that dogs are getting stolen or attacked, and, well, I get real mad real fast. Let's go to Josh in L.A. Josh, hello.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
What's going on?
Yeah, so I heard your story. Pretty sickening. I have an idea of what punishment would suffice.
And what's that?
I think if someone were to take my dog, I would present them with two options. The first option is castration plus a mandatory 8 years served in a federal penitentiary. Or option number two, no castration, but they have to serve 20 years.
Oh, I like that. And I like the fact that you said federal prison, because, you know, if it's federal prison, well, they don't get out early on that. They get to serve at least 85% of their sentence, because these people, I don't know how you re-enter society. I don't know how people who would steal someone's dog belong in society. How do you fix that?
Well, you start with a surgery in 8 years.
I like that. Castration. Let's go for it. Because you know what? That person is a bad seed, and they shouldn't be allowed to reproduce.
Agreed.
I like it. Josh, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you caught this bastard dog napper, how would you punish them? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Joe in Pasadena. Joe, hello.
Hey, I really I love dogs, and if somebody took my dog, you ever see old Clint Eastwood movies? I love them.
Seen what movies?
Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
Clint Eastwood, and one of the movies, the guys did something, whatever they did, and in the movie it says hang them. I say, you know what? You steal somebody's dog, we got to go back to that. I mean, come on, steal somebody's dog. Even that guy, I heard that he said, go ahead and take my watch, just give me back my dog. How much is a Rolex watch? Like $25,000-$50,000? I'm not sure. And the guy said, it's okay, take my watch, but leave me my dog. Come on. Hey, I would. My dog is like my family member. I mean, just don't take my dog, please.
Same here. That's how I feel. And if we're going to treat in the eyes of the law stealing a dog the same that we would stealing a Rolex, that's a mistake. We got to change that immediately.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the call, Joe. Appreciate it. A lot of dog lovers in the audience. We know what's up. We understand the pain that this man in Montebello and his wife and his other two bulldogs are going through. But if you caught the dog napper, how would you punish these bastards? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. We'll keep going with your phone calls. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can email us as well, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. A man was walking his French bulldog in Montebello when he was robbed at gunpoint. The person who had the gun stole his watch, stole his phone, and then stole his dog, his French bulldog. How does somebody walk on this planet, breathe the same air as you and I, and think this is an acceptable way to make a living? This is so unbelievable to me that there's a market for stolen dogs, that people are stealing dogs and trying to profit off of it. And I think the penalties need to be a lot worse, because this isn't like stealing a watch. This isn't like stealing a wallet. This is stealing somebody's family member. This guy believed this dog was his child. And you know what? He's totally in his right for that. And he just wants the damn dog back. But if we caught this bastard, what would you do to him? How far do we need to go to punish dog nappers so this crap stops happening? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Lisa in Playa del Rey. Lisa, hello.
Hi, Randy. This problem would not even exist if people would just get their dogs at shelters or rescues like they should, instead of buying and selling them like pieces of furniture. And I just want your listeners to know that French bulldogs are being discarded left and right. They are all over the shelters. They have a lot of health problems that people don't know about when they buy them, and then they end up giving them up anyway because they can't afford all the health care. So the problem wouldn't exist if people weren't paying so much money for them.
I think that's a really great point you make. It is very, it is very important to, support the rescues, get out to the shelters, and, trying to, buy the specific kind of breed of dog you want is the wrong way to think about this. I understand that's what some people do, and there are Yeah, there are legitimate breeders out there, but you will be able to find what you want. You'll be able to find a dog that will change your life at a shelter, at a rescue. That's how all of my cat is from the West Valley shelter. My two dogs are from two different rescues, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, and I see the lists of the dogs that are up for adoption at all the shelters every day. There are a lot of French bulldogs on there. I'm just saying, maybe people don't realize that, but there are many that need homes and don't need to be bought for, what are they now, $3,000? It's crazy.
Oh, I just watched this piece on Inside Edition. There are some that are being sold for $10,000, $20,000. It's unbelievable. So that's really good information. Got to check the shelters out there. At least
a market by paying that. Yes, we are creating a market for theft. So just
you're right. Yes. I get it. Thank you so much for the call, Lisa. And then we got to go after these people who do this. Let's go to Haas in La Mesa. Haas, hello.
Hey, Randy, I agree with what everybody's saying. The theft of an animal is really horrible. It's not like these guys took it out of someone's yard, though. They used force or fear. That's 211 of the Penal Code robbery, and they should go to prison for it.
Yeah, you're right. It is armed robbery, so they should go to prison for it. But do you think we need to enhance the penalty even more because they stole a living, breathing being, not just somebody's property?
Well, I would agree with that, but unfortunately, that's us thinking with our emotions, and unfortunately, under the law, these animals don't count for that. It's really sad.
Yeah, well, nothing gets me emotional about thinking about dogs. I appreciate the call, Haas. He's right. It would be armed robbery, but I'd go further than that. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to John in my hometown of Santa Clarita. John, hello.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call, Randy. I'm an ex-veteran, and when we were training and handling weapons, I want to make it quick. When these guys are trained, they're teaching you the MTIs, and they want you to put the weapon in front of you. They watch you very closely, and you can't pick it up, put your hands on the trigger, because a lot of guys would go off in their hands before they're even pointing it down range. So when you're sitting there facing people with a weapon and you're a rookie, you don't know what you're doing, that should be a charge of attempted murder. Because if it was your mom or the president or senator, what else could it be other than attempted murder?
I like that. I think you make a really, really, really strong point with that.
Yeah, if it was your mom the gun was pointed at, you'd probably go run them over. Anyway, I'll shut up. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you so much for calling in, John, and thank you so much for your service. We appreciate it. Let's go to Bill in La Cañada. Bill, hello.
Hey, Randy, along the lines of what that gentleman was saying, every time I go on a walk, I don't care how far, I bring my Brazilian friend Rossi with me, whom I've mentioned before, who's a 38 special with hollow points. And some guy pulls a weapon like that on me. I'm going to wait for him to walk back to his car, and I'm going to go back there, and he's going to deal with Rossi. That's all these people understand. And I know that can be complicated, but look, we've got this Sheriff Robert Luna, what was his advice to people feeling this pain?
Oh, I have it right here.
I need you to not feel that way.
Right. So this is a guy deciding who carries concealed weapons. You got to go through this turkey, who talks like Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies. We're doing a pretty good job. The law enforcement is not going to help anybody at this point, and I'm not advocating vigilantism, but you got to protect yourself. And these thugs going around, it could be a dog, it could be a person, it could be anything, and they're just looking for targets who are not weaponized. So that guy, he's on the right track. We got to start making people aware that they need to defend themselves justifiably.
Well, what's interesting, too, is the owner of this dog, he was carrying mace with him because he knows that things can happen. But, even if you got mace in your pocket and somebody comes up to you with a loaded gun, are you going to pull it out of your pocket? Are you going to escalate that situation? I don't know how I'd react in that. It's scary as hell.
No, I've carried mace. It went off in my pocket one time by mistake. You don't want that.
That's probably what would happen to me. Bill, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Sylvester in L.A. Sylvester, hello.
Hey, Randy, how you doing? So I just
Doing great.
checked with Karen Bass's office, and Karen Bass says Randy's full of crap, that this is not the truth, that there's no problem with dog napping, and that it's totally safe to walk your dog wherever you want. She's also now tripled down on that the rail system's safe. So,
in fact, here's Karen Bass saying it herself.
My message to the community is Metro is safe.
Yeah, it is a joke.
I'd love for her to go up to this man in Montebello and say, no, your dog wasn't stolen.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that really is the truth. She did say that. There's no problem with this. Anyway, thanks a lot, Randy, for talking to me.
Hey, good to talk to you, Sylvester. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Stuart in Seal Beach. Stuart, hello.
Yes, hello, Randy. Thank you for taking my call. The federal law of 2000 gave you up to 10 years for damaging or killing a police dog. So that would be a start. And there's many states now that are looking into this and are passing laws that are severely punishing idiots like this who steal somebody's or kill somebody's dog.
Yeah, I think we got to go even tougher. I love that idea. And yeah, let's model it after that and let's make these federal crimes. That's one definite way to go. Stuart, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Connie in West Covina. Connie, hello.
Hello. Yeah, I agree completely. We got to change these laws. And frankly, I love all of our dogs. I love the cats. I love the birds. And I don't care if it's a pet skunk or raccoon, but because if they're your pet and you love them, that's it. They're family. And so I think that definitely we have to get these laws fixed, and I would really seriously do everything in my power to find them. I would put up on the news. I would do whatever we could. But they need to be caught and prosecuted because it's a horrible thing. And I'm talking even about, there was a alligator, I think it was, that was a medical animal for a man, I think it was back east somewhere. Wally was his name. And he was just so upset with this Wally, and he took him out to places, schools and things, because he was so tame. He was like a puppy dog. So whatever your love is, and I think it all needs to be inclusive. I mean, a pet pig, I don't care. They are your family.
Yeah, that's family. There is love there, and if there is love there, this has got to be treated way more seriously than if this is like your watch that gets stolen. I totally agree.
That's
Connie,
right.
thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Now I got to look up this alligator story. Thank you so much for the calls, everybody. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. As we talk about this horrific dog napping that happened in Montebello, we had that call from Lisa who wanted to make sure people know that, you know what, even if your heart is set on a French Bulldog, you don't have to go through these expensive websites of these breeders because you can find them at the shelter. And you know what? She's totally right. I went to laanimalservices.com, which, by the way, there are over 1,400 dogs that are waiting for a home. So if you got a little room in your household, it's the perfect time to go take care of that. But you can even search by a breed that you like. And there's a French Bulldog at East Valley right now. So if that is what you want, you can go take this little guy home. But, check out the website. Their website is great, and these are a lot of dogs and a lot of cats that would need a home. We have our 2 dogs and a cat. I don't think we have room for any more because we travel a lot. But if I had some giant house with a giant backyard, I'd probably, if I had unlimited funds, I'd probably start an animal rescue because I want to save all of them. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. There was a crazy story in Century City over the weekend about a bee swarm at the mall. And some people thought it was intentionally set. Now, here's the thing with a bee story. You know that even though we're in the #1 market for broadcasting, and even though we have some legendary people behind the desk and in the field on our local channels, news reporters and anchors can't help themselves with a bee story. Exhibit A, Fox 11.
Usually the Century City Mall sees swarms of shoppers on the weekends. Yesterday it was a swarm of bees. Tonight the source of those bees is still under discussion. Fox 11's Laura Diaz is there live with more on that buzz-worthy story. Laura?
Oh, Christine Devine, an absolute legend. She got her Golden Mike Lifetime Achievement Award when I got my second Golden Mike in 2017. She is a delight. She is a legend. But she can't help herself with the puns.
Fox 11's Laura Diaz is there live with more on that buzz-worthy story. Laura?
Laura Diaz, seasoned reporter, been in Los Angeles for many, 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 many years. She going to do any better?
Yes, Christine, to be or not to be.
Oh, boy. Just can't help themselves. Now, I always wonder, did the reporter write the pun? Or did the editor feel like they had to punch this up a little bit? And they added this horrible bee pun.
Yes, Christine, to be or not to be.
Oh, boy.
Or perhaps the question that's more to the point, were those bees placed there on purpose?
A lot of bee crimes in 2024. We had someone whose beehive got stolen in Oakland, and now they're alleging that somebody, placed a beehive and set a bunch of bees loose at the Century City Mall to stick it to people that want to go to Italy and that Kelson's with the wine bar?
Super scary. I thought they were going to be aggressive, like they were going to attack people. So my boss came in the store and we shut the doors.
Take another look at this video, courtesy of the Citizen app. It shows a thick swarm of bees Sunday descending on the Westfield Mall near the Zinke restaurant at about 4:30. The person who recorded it claimed a beehive had been released on purpose, with the person who planted it fleeing the scene.
So what are we supposed to believe? There's rogue apiarists out there that want to take out bees and just start going after people? Something doesn't smell right about this story at all.
The loud buzzing bees terrified...
Buzzing bees? Great alliteration there. Laura Diaz, you're a pro.
The loud buzzing bees terrified shoppers and employees. Monday...
Hey, that rhymed too. You know, Laura Diaz, if this reported thing doesn't work out, you could become mayor of Los Angeles.
The loud buzzing bees terrified shoppers and employees.
That's Karen Bass level.
This, to me, is a public health emergency.
Monday afternoon, life was...
Wait, I like this one too.
In our city and in our state, climate change is not up for debate.
The loud buzzing bees terrified shoppers and employees. Monday afternoon, life was back to normal at Westfield Mall in Century City. Not a bee in sight. But a beekeeper from the LA County Beekeepers Association doubted the story as it was told. He said the sudden influx of bees had more to do with nature than some nasty plan.
So it's spring, and that's why there were a bunch of bees, because it's pollinating season, and it wasn't somebody who brought a hive to the mall to go after the citizens. Boy, sometimes we got to let our imaginations run a little wild, don't we?
In spring, bees will divide their colony. They swarm. They'll take a large group of bees in a colony, and the first chance they get, a warm, sunny day, part of that colony will divide off and go seek out a new nesting site.
And in fact, in recent months, swarms of bees have been showing up in some unlikely places.
So there's no secret supervillain out there. Bee-Man does not exist. There is no evil apiarist, as far as we know, that is collecting bees so he can launch the bees on unsuspecting people who don't want to be bees, and people are going to get stung. It's not going to happen. Bees just kind of go wherever they want. They got to go find the honey. They got to go pollinate. They got to go save this planet. But no, as far as we can tell, the bees were not set intentionally at the Century City Mall. But hey, it made for a fun story on Memorial Day. Thank you all so much for listening and being a part of the show. Thanks for the phone calls and emails as well. I love doing this show every day. It is a dream come true to be able to talk to you every single day from 5 to 6. That's when we hear the News Blitz with Randy Wang every single day. Tell your friends I'm here every day 5 to 6 on 790 KABC.